It is time to wake up. It is right in front of your face. They own the news, they own the pharmaceuticals, and they own the banks.
Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
The El Paso, Las Cruces communities.
News has unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
It is time for you to sit there and realize that you are living a lie. Welcome to reality, my friend. Everything around you is distorted and controlled, and it is in front of you intentionally. Understanding this, we must also understand that they control the education, they control the school system, meaning that they control how much you know about money, how much you know about business, how much you know about taxes and finance. All of it. They control what you know and how much you know. This being said, what do you know? Nothing. Why? Because it is not favorable for them for you to know, because you would be able to set yourself free. You'd break free, you'd wake up. So my goal with this community, with this family, with this empire that we are building is to wake you up, is to set you free. Now I said I want to hop off the grid, but it just isn't that time yet. For now, I am coming for you. I am coming to wake you up. If you don't like it, click off this video. I don't need the negativity. I don't need the comments. You can go. If you want to elevate your mindset, your finances, and your life, then stay. If you want to walk around, go clubbing, jerk off, do all those things, that's fine. Go do it. But don't sit there and wonder what the outcome will be. Because if you do what everyone else does, then your outcome will be the same. You'll be like everyone else, depressed, broke, and controlled. Now I'm going to assume all of the normies are gone. Let's talk about how you can actually break free. In order for you to break free, you need your own wealth and lots of it. So the question becomes, how do you do that? You do it by building value, by being in high demand, and by being irreplaceable. This is how you continue to make money in perpetuity. And to do this, you must learn the skills that put you in that position. And you must become so good and so irreplaceable at those skills that you remain in that position. Let me explain. If a company has a really good sales rep, and that sales rep is responsible for the majority of their revenue, they can't afford to literally lose that sales rep, meaning that he can basically do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and they are going to continue to pay him because his value is so high and because he is irreplaceable. Now, this can actually be applied to anything. When I began to understand this, I had a perspective shifting moment. I realized college degrees don't mean shit. Qualifications don't mean shit. Nothing matters except for the value that you are able and skilled enough to provide. This was exciting because for me, I had no qualifications, I had no degree, I had nothing. But now I understood that none of that stuff mattered, but what mattered was how skilled I was as an individual and the value that I could provide. I was working my construction job at this time, and I started to look at the ways I could make myself valuable. And I figured out the best way to do that is by developing skill sets, and I started to learn them straight away. So what skills did I actually focus on that allowed me to stack a lot of cash? How you find success as an entrepreneur is very simple. You focus on the fundamentals. You cannot cheat entrepreneurship like you can cheat in school. Why is this? It's because if you do not build the correct foundation and you do not put the right building blocks in place, then you build everything on a shaky foundation, which inevitably leads to your demise. So how do you build a strong foundation? Like I said, you focus on the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals? I'm about to educate you on exactly what the fundamentals are, how you can learn them, how you can apply them to your life, and how you can use them to make money, and how you can basically get everything you want just by focusing on one skill set. Now, as you all know, you can get rich in a million different ways, but you cannot get rich without knowing the fundamentals. The fundamental skill set that I learned is sales. Sales is the fundamental building block to business. Now, understand, skill sets are the things that are going to actually set you free, and you might have seen dropshipping and e-commerce and SaaS and SMMA and all these different business models, and you're thinking, well, it's not skill sets, I can do any of these. But understand, SaaS is selling a software, SMMA is selling a service, dropshipping is selling a product. All of these things are selling something. If you don't understand what the keyword is, it's selling. If you do not know how to sell and you are unable to sell, you're not going to make money regardless of your business model. You need to sell something in order to break free. So it is essential that you develop the skill set of being able to sell. There's a reason why Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, Tai Lopez, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs all started in sales. And they obviously all started in the hardest types of sales, things like door-to-door, things like solar, things like insurance. Now we obviously have opportunities like remote sales, like we have kids making $3,000 US a week from their bedroom. Sales is one of the only careers that allows you to make six figures, and in some cases far more than that, without any qualifications, without any degree, without anything. Basically anyone can get into sales. You can literally have any starting position, you can be a rock bottom, it really doesn't matter. You will be able to get a good sales job and make a ton of money, which leads me to one of the main pros of getting a sales job and learning sales, which is the earning potential. There is no other job that you can walk into and basically start making $10,000 a month straight away. Sales is in every industry. It doesn't even really matter what industry you're in, be it e-commerce, be it something completely different, because there's always a need for something to be sold. People always need things sold, and they're always going to pay the salespeople who are selling it the most, because that's literally what generates the cash flow into that business. For example, in our academy, we have kids who come in and just in a few months, they're doing 5K a month, 10K a month, 20K a month, even $30,000 a month just a few months after starting. This is unheard of, because for the longest time it has been widely believed that in order to even get close to that kind of money, you need to go to college or university and go there for 6, 4, 7, 8 years in order to make that kind of money. And then by that point you're 30 years old and you might have a okay career that you still have to commute to a job that you probably don't like for the rest of your life, and you can maybe one day make it out. And even then you're still giving away all of your time. Sales is one of the only options that allow people to cheat that system. This is because, like I said before, the only thing that matters in sales is your skill level and the value that you provide. Not only that, but it's a win-win for everyone. You make more money, the business owner makes more money. It's one of the things where nobody's getting screwed over, nobody's getting fucked. The customer's happy, they get a good quality product, the business makes money, and you make money, and everyone wins. The next thing about sales that makes it the perfect career path is you're expanding your network at the same time. Being in any kind of sales role, you're going to begin to rub shoulders with really, really valuable people with really, really high net worths, and I can attest to this. The people who taught me how to sell are multi-millionaires, and I've met them in real life, and they're really damn boys. Not only are you going to be around better quality people and be rubbing shoulders with really, really high status people, but you're also going to learn how to network and communicate and build relationships and build connections better as well, which is then going to also expand your network even further. And you have to be good at this, and you have to be good at networking and speaking to people, because it's what your income is derived from. So you eating food and being able to survive is literally based off how good you are at this. So you're obviously going to get really good. The last thing with sales is that it makes everything else super easy. Once you're a good salesperson and you're comfortable selling, you can sell yourself to your family, you can sell yourself to your friends, your girlfriend. You're way more comfortable in your own skin, you're way more articulate, you're just way more competent and confident as a person. I'm telling you for a fact that sales is the best path you can take to break free. Sales can be relatively easy to get into as well if you want to work some kind of door-to-door or solar sales job. If you want to get into the best kind of sales role, which is high-ticket remote sales, it's a little bit more difficult. A lot of the time it's through your networks and through your connections, all playing to play. Now, if you're really off the idea of getting a door-to-door sales job or a solo job and you want to get into high-ticket sales, there's a couple ways you can go about it. Social media is definitely one of them. Obviously now, social media is kind of your resume. How good is your Instagram profile, your Twitter profile? Do these things look good? Do they look professional? Now, the only issue with this is that if you're completely unexperienced and you don't have any training or any experience as a sales rep, you're basically reaching out, and the only thing they have to base it off is your social media. So if you don't have a really strong personal brand, even then it can still be hard. However, the chances are if you do outreach every single day and you outreach to a ton of different people every day, that eventually you'll end up with a role if everything in the interview goes well. This is the simplest and most direct approach that you can use. You can just DM them and say something like, hey, I've been watching your content for 6 months now. I really resonate with your message. I just finished watching your podcast with Craig, and I would love to join your team and help you make more revenue by closing for you. Something like that. Like I said, the main thing is to have your profile looking professional, looking clean, and looking dialed in. Now, in saying this is definitely something you can do. It's something I've seen a lot of people try and a lot of people fail at. Now, I personally got all my sales role through the sales agency that I joined, because when you join a sales agency, you get training, you get experience, you role play, and you also build all the connections and the network that you need to actually get into the industry. And this is what I recommend to everyone else. However, some people are reluctant because there is normally a price tag with this. However, there will be a link to my sales agency below. Now, back to what I was saying before. Once you land this role, you're going to be able to get out of your job. Yes, you're still going to be taking sales calls, but you're going to have a lot more location and financial freedom that you've ever had before. You're going to begin to gain some momentum and getting kind of like this upward spiral. You get out of your job and you're closing better and you're getting better at sales, and you start to kind of get a gap there from you and being trapped, and you start to build a little bit of momentum, and you can kind of start to break free. And you might be thinking, how do I break free just using sales calls? Now, obviously this is going to allow you to get out of your job. You can probably go travel the world and do all these different things that are exciting, but if you want that crazy financial freedom, those 6-figure months, you're going to take your sales experience and you're going to apply that to the marketplace. Let me go into this a little more really quickly. Marketing is just sales at scale. You're just getting it out in front of more people and you're doing it in a less detailed way. But if you can sell, you're going to understand what makes people buy. You're going to understand human psychology. For example, myself, I think a massive reason why my content is successful and why I can sit here and look at the camera and yap shit for a very long time is because of my experience in sales. Like I said before, when you know how to sell, you know how to articulate your ideas, you know how to build connections, you understand how to be resilient and human psychology and relationships, and this is going to make you so much better at making content and marketing. And once you can sell and market and you've got attention and you have a brand, you can apply this to any business model. You can sell anything you want and you will make a ton of money. But I am telling you, this is where you should start. Learn the fundamentals. Did I make $1 million with sales alone? Maybe not. However, I couldn't have made any money without that foundational skill set. And not only did I build everything else on top of that, that skill set is what allowed me to do everything else. If you want to break free, you do not have a better opportunity than sales. By learning the foundation that all businesses are built on and making yourself extremely valuable, extremely irreplaceable, and in extremely high demand, then you can scale this by selling your knowledge. This is how I touched $1 million. This is how you can touch $1 million. But the question is, do you really want it?